Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bucket Bytes. My name is Ryan Papa Post. And,
I didn't want to say anything.
No, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. For those of you who can't see, I don't exist apparently. But my name is
he's El Gato.
I am El Gato. I am the cat.
Oh.
Anyways,
no.
my name is Ryan Papa Post. I'm with Josh Picard and Logan here coming at you live from the Bucket Bytes Twitch stream page. That was an awful intro and I'm going to end up re-recording that. But guys, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great if you leave it in. You have to leave it in.
Okay, I'll leave it in.
You have to own your mistakes.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I can do that. I can do that. And I'm also like not in the right spot either. So this is fantastic. Welcome to the first episode of the new layout on our Twitch stream, which is going to be
and
shown
you're way
also.
off center, by the
I
way.
know. What the fuck, man? This was legit like all set up, ready
Dude,
to go.
this is
Perfect.
the best part about live broadcasting. Like, you spent all day getting everything ready, and then you hit live, and it's all just...
Dude. Guys, welcome. Henry out in Chatland. You guys can always check us out live here on our Twitch channel, bucketbytes.tv/bucketbytes, or twitch.tv/bucketbytes. That's the thing.
Bucketbytes.tv/switch. Twitch. Fuck. No,
legitimately, you know what?
I was trying to like get it in there real quick, and I just fucked it up.
Well, I'm not the only one then, so that makes this.
Yeah. Can we start over? Can we just start the podcast over? I see you over there trying. Oh, there we go. Welcome to Bucket Bytes. I'm Ryan. Oh shit.
Can you tell this is a live broadcast?
Oh my god, it's my absolute favorite. Do you guys like the little stinger that I threw in there too?
Yeah, it was nice.
Didn't even see it.
Yeah, it's right now. It's kind of weird, but anyways, yeah. So we are Bucket Bytes. I'm Ryan Post. With me is Josh Picard and Logan Jacob. We are going to be talking to you a little bit today with some bite-sized bits and discussions. Actually, no bits today, so just bite-sized discussions.
I thought we had a game from last week.
Well, no. Oh well, no, we don't. There's no Dom. We can't play games without Dom.
That's true.
Yeah, we can't. We need a full squad here.
You know, so
who's Dom?
Dom? Yeah, the guy that hasn't been on our show for the last like month.
Seriously, what happened? God. Kid turns 12 and all of a sudden he can't be on a podcast anymore.
No.
His truck broke down.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's still on the side of the road.
Yeah, he's still stuck on the highway.
That's okay. I don't blame him. It's okay. He's got some stuff going on he's dealing with, so we'll just let that happen. So like I said, we're gonna have a kind of a shortish one today. So hopefully you guys are fine with that. If not, I guess deal with it. But Logan, we're gonna start with you today.
Sure.
Just because you're kind of getting back into gaming a little bit. You kind of took a break for some reasons, and now you're kind of going back into it.
Yeah, so I took a little bit of a hiatus.
Okay.
And I actually got my wife a Steam Deck, and so she was playing some games just because she only had the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So she was playing on that, but now that Tears of the Kingdom came out, that's been her world. So the Steam Deck's just been sitting, right? So I decided to delve into it, a couple different things, and one of the things is emulation, and kind of fell in love with it. It's honestly changed the game for me as far as handheld devices go.
Okay.
In my opinion, because there's a sweet software that you can install on the Steam Deck called Emu Deck. Emu Deck. Thank you.
Okay.
Emu Deck.
Emu what?
Emu Deck. DECK Post. Come on.
Sorry.
Yes.
Better. Mind. Get it.
there's plenty of YouTubers out there that have showed you step-by-step instructions on how to install it. They walk you through it really nicely. But what's really cool about it is there's different ways to present the different types of games on the deck. Like if you go through the different like libraries, if you follow the file structure correctly, you can actually see the different consoles or handheld from the classic systems that they were played on. So if it's Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, N64, so they categorize them and make them all nice and neat, so they're not just one giant folder. You can actually go through the different systems that you can choose from that you downloaded. Obviously, we cannot, for legal reasons, tell you any sort of sites or where to get them. But
you're playing legit owned copies that you already owned and uploaded. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. No. You have to dump the ROMs yourself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that, like, just in case the government is watching, like, hey, we do this. It's all legit. There's no illegal downloading.
Yes, that's why I was like, I cannot provide any sort of websites online that can help you out. You have to do that yourself. You gotta go through the process. But so I actually started playing Need for Speed Underground 2 the last few nights, and it's just been so much fun. Like the graphics going from analog to just a ROM digital, it looks so sharp. I never thought a game from 2004 could look so sharp.
Well, the best part, especially about Emu Deck, is that it will... Well, emulators for 3D games can render old games in like modern resolutions, right? So like you could play PS1, PS2 up to whatever in 4K, say. So like that's the best part about emulation is, like you said, Logan, like you're not just playing old games, you're playing old games, but they look so much better now.
Okay.
And Emu Deck is great because it's automatically pre-configured to look and play as well as it can on the Steam Deck.
And you could tell that it's not trying too hard to play these type of games because they're not super demanding out of the hardware.
It's not taking off in your hands. Just...
No.
Yeah. Because, if I'm playing Red Dead 2 on it, you can feel some serious heat coming off the top. But when you're playing any of the emulated games, it's just chilling. It's almost like as if it's off. It's runs so smooth. And probably part of the reason too is because of the screen size, because like maybe if you played it on like a bigger screen, like a 50-inch, it may not look as good, but since it's 720 and on a smaller screen, it just looks phenomenal. It looks really, really good.
And I know on this show in the past I've had the ROG Ally versus Steam Deck war. And since then Emu Deck has actually released like a Windows version, so you can install it on the ROG Ally as well, and like putting head-to-head Emu Deck on Steam Deck versus ROG Ally wins by a long shot, just because like so many games or so many emulators run better under Windows.
Sure. And
also the screen on the Ally is so much better than the Deck.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but
yeah.
So Josh, just throwback to when we talked about it previously, like you weren't a big fan of the Ally. Like if I was going to primarily get one of these systems for mostly emulating older software and maybe a little bit new stuff, what would you recommend between the two?
I would still, like, honestly, no matter what the use case is, I would still recommend the Steam Deck, just because like on the whole it's a way better product and it's cheaper. So like even for like the particular use case, I'd be like, no, still get a Steam Deck because you're still going to get a better product for the price.
Sure.
There's not that much change for the price, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. If they were more comparable on the price point, then I'd say go Ally, because I love the Ally screen and speakers. Like they are great. But
what's the level of difficulty? If maybe you would, I figured you might know this, but what's the level of difficulty to kind of hack into, not hack because that would be illegal, but to get like a switch per se to be able to emulate?
Oh, now we're getting deep. So old switches are insanely easy to jailbreak or whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't know because I've never done it, but you could use one of these little devices right here It's called a jig, and you slide it into your Switch where the Joy-Con would normally go, and it like launches the Switch into this
like developer type mode.
Exactly, like a debug mode. So then you have to plug it into your computer and like transfer a payload file that'll launch a custom firmware on the Switch. But you have to do that every time you reboot the console, so it's kind of annoying. Again, I'm speaking just hypothetically. I've never done this. I don't even have one of these. And but the Switch is weird because it's very outdated hardware and it doesn't really run super well. Like you could emulate old stuff like
I was thinking like Xbox
maybe
360.
PS1.
Only up to like do you think you do like 360 games or no?
I thought you were goofing. No. Not even close to PS2. Like you're
really
you're capping at PS1 on the Switch.
Wow. That's disappointing. Well, I only thought of it just because I have a Switch and I would rather not have to buy another $300-$400 device plus.
Supposedly, if you because you can boot Android on the Switch, but it's a little wonky and it's like the process is really convoluted.
Sure.
And apparently, you can run like GameCube on there and PS2.
Yeah.
But it's I've tried it and it's nowhere near like I'd be like, yeah, this is great. I'd play this. Like it's more of like a proof of concept than anything.
Sure. Okay, so what have you been playing, Logan? Mostly,
like I said, I have been playing Need for Speed Underground 2 on it, which has been great.
Choice. I love that game.
I used to go to my local rental place when I had my GameCube at the time, and just rented that one nonstop till I beat it. Just like so many times rented. But other than that, I have a lot of the Tiger Woods old PGA games, 2002, 2003, 4, all those on there, all the old James Bonds. I still, like I said, I still own all of them, so it was really easy to get the ROMs, if you know what I mean.
Right.
For them. Yeah. So,
because you had them laying on the shelf in the back.
Oh yeah. I literally have them right behind me.
Well, that's what that big.
But the other part that's really cool, I was gonna say, for the Emu Deck, is they have a plugin that allows you to connect to a site called retroachievements.com.
Yes.
Which reinvents, I feel like, classic games, because obviously there wasn't necessarily achievements. There was unlockable things back then, because back then they gave you all the content. You have to buy everything for the game. It just gave it to you by unlock it. So obviously unlocking is one thing. Different cars, upgrades, for your car, like in Need for Speed. But in this case, there's actual achievements. So you can almost have the same experience as new gen games on classic games.
Sure.
Dude, mind blown.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's so cool.
I'm legit gonna end up getting one of these fucking things just so I can emulate.
Dude,
it's gonna happen.
Sell your OLED.
Yeah, but I could. That's good.
Sell that. You don't need it. Trust me.
No, I could just.
You don't need it.
Hand me downs to the kids, because the kids got that really old Switch that's like, the screen's like not even glass. It's scratched up, and like maybe I'll just do it a hand me down and I'll treat myself.
I will say, like, the cool thing about it is, and I'm obviously a big fan of these emulation devices. I've got here AYN Odin. You guys can't even hear me anymore. This is the AYN Odin, which is an Android device, and I actually modded it so it had PlayStation buttons, because this is what I use to play PS2 games. Like, I have so many my fiance had to like step in and stop me from buying all of these devices because I have so fucking many little emulation devices. Actually, my keys are in the other room, but I have like a little keychain one that's like this big.
Yeah.
It's different than the one I showed off on the show. I got another one.
Okay.
But that one plays PS1 games, so it's really cool. But like the coolest thing about all of this is the Emu Deck experience makes it so easy to like get into emulation and just like all you gotta do is
wild.
Yep, you put your ROMs in the directory and you go, and it's fantastic.
And the games, since they're retro, they're not 2, 3, or not 3, but there are like 100 gigs or whatever current gen games are. It's like you're talking about maybe a gig, 2 gigs per game.
Yeah.
It just makes for fast transferring, launching. It's phenomenal. Even on the Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color games, they even add in like a little frame on the black where it shows like a little partial cutoff of like the power light, the red light, what it looked like on a Game Boy, but it's a giant screen on the Steam Deck. So it's a cool experience.
The aspect ratio is different because of the the widescreen. So they add like a little bezel around that makes it look like the original console, and it's really cute.
Yeah. They you could tell that they really wanted it to be something special, and it is, to say the least. So I can't speak highly enough. They did a really good job with it. If you're interested, try it out.
How long has that been released?
Basically since the Steam Deck came out. Like that team was really fast at getting that figured out.
Well, I figured they could probably, they knew it was gonna be Linux based, so they probably could have just fucking wrote it.
And the cool thing is, like, all of these emulators, I'm pretty sure all of them that are on, besides, I don't know if Yuzu is open source, but pretty much all of the emulators on there are open source. So it's all this community that's all working together to get, these emulators working for as many devices as possible, but notably the Steam Deck with Emu Deck. It's dope. Everybody get into emulation. It's the only way we can preserve video games.
Right.
Josh, that's a real argument.
I had a question. So I'm playing classic games that I played when I was younger. Obviously, there's plenty of games out there that came out that were fantastic that maybe a lot of people missed. You got any recommendations?
So the first thing I got to ask is, what era are you talking? Are you talking like Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, PS1, PS2? Like,
I would say N64 and GameCube.
N64 and GameCube. Okay, so first for GameCube, I always have to recommend Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game. It was made by Silicon Knights. It's I don't want to say survival horror game, but it's like in the realm of Resident Evil and Silent Hill.
Okay.
But the story goes like through multiple time periods, and it breaks the fourth wall a lot. It's just a really interesting horror game. So I always go for Eternal Darkness for GameCube.
Does it break the fourth wall in like a corny kind of like humor kind of way, or?
No, I'm really into games that break the fourth wall in unique ways.
Like Psycho Mantis and...
Exactly. It's very similar to that. And they were actually inspired by Metal Gear. So like the game knows you're playing a video game. That's what I'll say.
Oh, dude, that sounds legit.
That's really cool.
It does interesting things with that. So I like that. If we're talking N64, so
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker's Bad Fur Day is a great example. Yes, that's a good one. I was gonna say, like, I'm a bad person to ask because I skipped N64, but I'm wearing an N64 shirt right now. Paper Mario is a great one for both N64 and the GameCube. Paper Mario, the 10,000 Year Door, I've never played it, but I've watched my fiance play it multiple times, and it is one of my favorite games ever, and I've never even played it. The writing is really quirky. The combat is super unique for an RPG because it's still because it's a Mario game, so it's still like timing and platforming based, even though it's an RPG. So it's really, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's really cool.
Nice.
Of course, you got Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for GameCube, and then Ocarina and Majora for N64. Jeez, what else is there on?
Yeah, that's hard.
Tony Hawk's Underground, if you're into
games. Yeah.
Yes, I did download Underground 2 and I launched it just to try it out, and it's exactly as I remember. It's just being in the hangar. I have to figure out how to reconfigure and map a little bit better because I couldn't figure out how to grind. So I kept trying to do some of the, grinding over the helicopter so it launches and goes up. But
I will say, if you can get PS2 games, they map way better for the controller. than
Okay.
GameCube does.
Ooh, Silent Hill. You've never played Silent Hill or Dino Crisis?
I've never played Dino Crisis. Yeah, you can play Dino Crisis, just capture it.
Yeah,
somebody else won't. Yeah, Silent Hill. So I'm one of these weirdos who I love Silent Hill 1 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think those are like some of the greatest games I've ever played. Don't get the hype for Silent Hill 2. Just don't get it.
I don't remember it all. Yeah, I'm the same way, and everyone loves that game, and they're remaking
Everyone loves Silent Hill 2. I don't know. I loved like Silent Hill 1 and then Silent Hill 3 is a sequel to Silent Hill 1. Like fucking awesome. Those two games are incredible.
Yep.
Okay.
But Silent Hill 2,
I got them written down.
Perfect. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just went on a little tangent there.
No, you're good. You're good. That's exactly what I was looking for, honestly.
Oh, Metal Gear, of course.
Oh yeah.
If you've never played the Metal Gear games, you got to at least play Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Oh, I'm trying to think. How would you play Metal Gear 1 emulated? Specifically because of the Psycho Mantis fight.
Oh, so actually, Kojima was smart, and you don't have to change the controller port.
Oh, okay. I don't.
There's
remember.
another way. There's another way to do that boss fight.
Oh, okay. That's the way you have to do it.
Well, that's the way that the game first tells you to do it, and then eventually the kernel will come on and be like, "Oh, okay," because Kojima was smart and thought about what if the person's second controller port was broken.
Okay. Oh,
like how would they beat it? So,
wow, an actual Q&A that actually worked. You don't see that anymore these days.
Gotta give that guy some credit.
Yeah, it's almost like never mind. I'm not going there.
Fair enough.
I was gonna make the cross comparison from Hideo Kojima to M. Night Shyamalan.
What a twist. Makes sense.
Not the twist, but just I feel like I'm not. Yeah, let's move on.
Fair enough. But anyway, if we want to go a little bit further back, there are some like classic games that you really gotta play that I will mention.
Sure.
Mostly on the Super Nintendo. So one of them would be Super Mario RPG, which is like the precursor to Paper Mario. But I love Super Mario RPG more than any of them. That game's really good. They're actually coming out with a remake for Switch, though. So I don't know if you want to hold off for that.
Oh, that's right. I did. Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Yeah. Otherwise, Final Fantasy VI is really good. It was also called Final Fantasy 3 in the US. So depending on what ROM you find, it might be. I mean, dump yourself. What cartridge you find? I mean,
Yeah.
I
Go hit up Game Trade Greg up in De Pere.
De Pere. Yep. We'll be going up there, by the way, post.
Yes, I know. And by the way, Logan, you're invited. If we ever do go up, well, not if.
No, we have to because he has a CRT TV for me. I have to go pick it up. Yes.
We were thinking, by the way, this is totally derailed now, but like maybe August, maybe September, like over a weekend. So that's just kind of what we were thinking.
Yeah. I mean, September probably would be better than August. August is already pretty booked, but you know how it is.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
that's a solid selection right there. That's...
Anybody who's listening to give Logan some suggestions, because obviously there's thousands of games to choose from.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, just join our Discord and repeatedly just tag Logan and just say, Logan, this game. At Logan, this game. At Logan.
By the way, when you go into our Discord, make sure you react to the welcome message, because I noticed we have so many fucking people in the Discord. Like 3 of them have clicked it.
Well, that's because when I made the Discord link public, it wasn't a public server before, but when I did, I
No, I get it, but I feel like a lot of people who have joined legitimately didn't understand that, and they're just not in the Discord.
Oh no.
That's all right. They'll realize when they want to come back one day that, hey, where'd it go? So that's okay.
Hope so.
But Logan, you've been also playing, just kind of going back to games that you've kind of restarted playing. You got an Xbox One X.
Yes.
And you've been playing the old Call of Duty games again.
Yeah. It's funny because we were just talking about it last week about the whole Activision deal with There it is.
Yeah, there's one right there.
Xbox.
I just rehooked mine up.
Is it a Project
Nice.
Scorpio?
No, it's just an Xbox One X.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, that's what I got too. But just randomly,
I literally just had to dig it out and hook it up.
in the last 2 weeks, the servers for all the classic CODs just magically flipped the switch and they're all back on. Activision hasn't made any comment as to why. People speculate because it has to do with the acquisition in Xbox, maybe. But it's kind of funny timing because a lot of people are just really unhappy with how the current state of COD is and whatnot. It's funny because on the store for Xbox, they have pretty much all the old classic CODs between 50 to 70% off. So they're anywhere between 10 to 15 bucks that you can just download and play. And literally,
because those are like never on sale.
Yeah, and they're like full price is like 30-40 bucks for Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. So, and there's a lot of people that are playing it. Like I hopped in, I played for maybe a couple hours, and I was finding matches within probably 6 seconds. It was like unheard of fast. I was really impressed.
You played these on 360 back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
So I recommend getting one of these bad boys. It's a Hyperkin. Oh. No, it's a Hyperkin Xenon is what they're called.
Oh.
So it's a replica 360 controller that works on Xbox One.
Oh, dude, that'd be so cool. I'd pick one up.
This is how I play every Xbox 360 game.
That's smart.
It just feels right.
Yeah, it feels a little weird. When I was out at the what was it? It was the Video Game Classic here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Midwest Gaming.
Yeah. And they had a section where they had a big LAN for Black Ops 2, so you could hop on a setup, and everyone was they had a bunch of 360s, and we just had like a regular TDM game. It was so fun. It felt weird holding the 360 controller again because it's been so long, but man, it was fun.
Dude, Josh, you remember coming over having like LAN parties with we have like 3 or 4 Xboxes hooked up?
Dude, those were like the greatest days of my life. Yeah. Like hauling my Xbox and my monitor into your car so we could take them to your apartment and hook them up in like the tiny living room, having 3 Xboxes and TVs next to each other.
It was so fun, man.
So much fun.
Yeah, that's the downside about current state of gaming just being all online and the discommunication being able to be near people, because it was just so much fun. Like I remember vividly, like I didn't use a backpack. I always kept the boxes for my consoles, so I would always specifically roll my console back up into the box exactly how I got it every time whenever I went to my buddy's place for a LAN party or something. It's just the kids these days missed out on that. It was
it's so convenient now. Like the Steam Deck's a perfect example. It's a fucking computer in your hand. Yeah, like it's so convenient now, but you lose out on that experience of walking uphill both ways.
Yeah, it was great.
So with Call of Duty, I don't know if you guys saw this, Josh, I know you mentioned it pre-show, but how do you guys feel about, like, they just Call of Duty, the new one, just added in, Homelander and all whoever else it was, I don't remember, and now they're going to be adding in like apparently Lara Croft, but Snoop Dogg, Nicki Minaj, 21 Savage. They put in Tim the Tap Man, which they also then removed because of a completely other issue. But I'm curious, what do you guys feel about that? Like, is that like, does it bother you, or is it annoying just to kind of see all of these just celebrities in a game when there's, or do you find it kind of fun?
I can find it kind of fun because Fortnite is kind of like the leader in that kind of
stuff. Yeah, they're the pioneer for sure on it.
Well, see, and that's where I disagree. I think Call of Duty is the pioneer. I think they started this with zombies. So if you remember, zombies used to have like episodes. Like I remember there was one with like the George Romero zombies episode where it had like what's her name, the actress who played Buffy. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I didn't
realize
that.
There was like other celebrities in it, and that was like the first big one where it's like, oh, you could play as celebrities. And then over the years, they still kind of sprinkled in different celebrities. I think like Jay and Silent Bob were in one of them.
I don't remember
I'm not
this
joking.
at all.
I'm pretty sure
I had
no idea. I had no clue. Buffy.
So yeah, they've been sprinkling in like celebrities in their like secondary modes for years. So I think Fortnite came in and swooped up, we're just gonna have everybody in this game and you can buy skins for literally anything ever.
And I think that's fine. But I think the reason I feel differently about it with Fortnite rather than Call of Duty is because Call of Duty makes everything, it's a photorealistic quote unquote game, whereas Fortnite's more of a stylized, artsy kind of look with these.
Yeah, it's a real cartoon.
Yeah,
world. Sure.
Right.
So I think that's what makes it different for me. I don't know, man. I don't want to run around Call of Duty with fucking getting blasted by Snoop Dogg. Like it's kind of funny.
I do.
Like I'm not gonna lie.
I do. Yeah. Like that's.
And what's funny about Snoop is he's an actual gamer. He's an avid COD player.
Oh yeah.
Like I think did he get signed with an actual organization?
Yeah,
was that
he was on
FaZe?
esports. He was on esports. I don't remember which one, but he was on an esports team.
I thought it was FaZe,
I don't remember.
Possibly, but see, yeah, and it's part of me is feel like it's an easy money grab because a lot. That's what a lot of people are really upset about because on like let's say Modern Warfare 1 with Warzone 1, all the content that people bought and spent lots of money on, the game was ending and they were shutting down the servers. So a lot of people were upset. Like they spent all this money, they should be able to keep it, but they're shutting it down, not being able to use it. So same thing could possibly happen for this game is you buy these skins, use them. They don't transfer to any other game. That's what's so great about for Fortnite. It's a game that will never stop. It's just evolving and it's just bringing along all those characters that you've bought and owned.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like Fortnite is Fortnite, right? Like Fortnite's not going to go anywhere. Whereas, whatever the next season of Call of Duty is called, like, is everything going to transfer over or?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, and what's so cool about with Fortnite is they've implemented, sometimes they do the different maps stylized for like Borderlands. There's a certain area of the map that felt like the Borderlands cartoon vibe. I thought that was really, really cool. Sure. It's not just the characters like what Call of Duty does. They just add in these characters. It just, it's again, boiling down to those microtransactions. They're in it for the money.
Yeah. But if it's like, I think it goes back. If it's a cosmetic thing, it's fine. I think most people agree with that.
Yeah. But like you said, though, like if it's cosmetic, but it doesn't fit, does it look more like a cash grab if they put no effort into trying to make it work in the world?
If it's part of a bigger plan that eventually, like Fortnite, where it comes together, then that's fine. But I think a lot of times people aren't going to give it a shot. Like people shat on Fortnite for so long just for all the different things that they were trying, including adding characters, changing maps, all this other stuff. But if you look at it now, like, yeah, I still don't play Fortnite, but it's actually like a hell of a thing that they got. So
right. And what's so funny is
business model.
Back on I think it was Black Ops 3, they had so much just ridicule and hate because they were trying to introduce these emotes into their characters and having unique uniforms that are really colorful. So they were just getting a lot of backlash from the community being like, this is not military, this is not war. And now you got actual celebrities in video game world and no one's upset about it.
No, Nicki Minaj is military.
Oh yeah. So it's funny how over the years the viewpoint on how things have changed in the COD world. But I'm just glad to see that they've reintroduced the servers to the classic games because a lot of people are playing them and it's a fun time in there. And it's not like it's a lot of cheaters or anything like that. They've seemed to wipe a lot of the hackers and cheaters.
Well, who's going to go back and try and cheat in a game from 2012? Like, come on.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Really?
You'd be surprised. It's sad. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You know what they say.
Well, and what's weird is, like you said, Logan, like when they're not paying attention and like the servers are still up, like over the years, like they just stop caring. Like I remember going back and trying to play COD 4 like way years later, and it's literally just people flying around the map and just
Yeah.
like, it's crazy shit, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. I think I did hop into one Black Ops 2 modded game, but it wasn't like some guy flying around. It was like you killed one person and you got like all your kill streaks.
yes.
So it was kind of like
that too.
extreme, but it wasn't over the top. Everyone was still dying as they should and back and forth, but
yeah. Well, and just to kind of go back to Microsoft or Activision bringing them all back on, I think it was because of the road being cleared for the acquisition, but Microsoft's kind of big focus right now is making sure that games are accessible and available to play. So bringing back some of these old games, if it's going to be part of their library, but that also doesn't make sense because they also just shut down all the old Halo servers and, you know, whatever else. Now, granted, they got MCC, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
that makes it their front runner.
But
their forerunner.
But I don't have the sound effect queued up. I'm sorry, Sean.
God damn it! We're not on Discord, so I can't even play it.
Oh, actually, I believe there is a thing in this collab call thing. There's okay. We'll play with it sometime. Just staying on the game topic though, if you guys have been following gaming news, it's been kind of quiet. But there's been some really weird traction lately on the Red Dead Redemption 1 remake. And it's maybe too, well, I wouldn't say too good to be true because it's all believable, but like I saw the whole
it's happening.
Was
really?
it UE5? Well, they didn't say UE5, but I don't know if you saw this at all today, Josh.
No.
But they're thinking it's going to be ported or rebuilt on Unreal Engine. That was the rumor I saw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what was Red Dead 2 built on?
I think it was
Is that still Rage?
Yeah, I think it was. I couldn't remember the name.
What's the source or what's the reasoning of thinking that they're going to build it on Unreal?
Oh, it's Rage. That's just the thing that came out. I think just because everyone gets excited, they hear Unreal Engine and they're just like, "Ooh, boner, nipples hard." Like,
well, to be fair, the dumb Grand Theft Auto definitive editions were Unreal, but that was for a completely different reason. Like, I'm of the opinion that we've all played Red Dead Redemption 2, right? I can do a minor spoiler.
Oh yes, there was somebody in chat earlier that was playing it, but they did complete the game. So,
this is a very minor spoiler.
Sure.
So you revisit part of the map that's in Red Dead Redemption 1 in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
It's a very minor spoiler.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for anybody who hasn't played that game yet. So once I found that out, or once I got to that point in the game, I was like, oh, well, it's obvious we're going to get a Red Dead 1 remake at this point. Like, why else would they spend the time
and that was
putting the map together?
That was the big rumor back when the game first came out, because there was all this unused space.
There's like, and again, minor spoiler, but like there's nothing to do. It's just there.
So it's like they almost tied it in and being like, we'll put this on the back burner, but we'll make it a fun little Easter egg.
It felt like a tease. It felt like, all right,
had a minor.
Here, you can explore it.
Yeah, there was a minor story there. They had something with the water there. Yeah, it was something with the water. Yeah. But like, it would be so fucking good if they were able to put the entire RDR1 into RDR2 and just expand that map. Like, but that was I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Most of the map.
I believe
just not Mexico.
Right, but I remember people speculating that way early on. Well, am I crazy?
No, you're right. So the rumor was that, and it was completely unfounded, but it wound up being semi-true. The rumor was that Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to contain an entire remake of Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh,
so
that's what
for those who are unaware, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1. So the rumor early on was like, no, they're remaking the entire map of Red Dead Redemption 1, and the story's just gonna flow. Like, so it's gonna you're gonna do this prequel thing, and then you're gonna flow.
Imagine, dude?
Oh, that'd be
it would have been pretty cool.
Dude, I'd fucking melt, bro. That I would buy that game for a fourth time.
that would be such a that would be such a strange, or not strange, but like unique thing. Like to release a new game and then halfway through you realize it's a not only a new game but a remake of an old game.
Oh,
like,
dude,
that would be dope as fuck.
That would be pretty cool,
bro. I don't know why I'm getting all giddy. Like I'm getting excited. Like this is actually happening. But no, but there's a lot of traction.
It's not happening.
There's a lot of traction for.
Keep it in the pants, buddy.
Yeah, this was like 6 years ago now. It didn't happen.
Sorry, I gotta.
But anyway, going back to the Red Dead 1 remake rumors, there's been a lot of shit that's been going on with
Thank you.
With Rockstar's webpage. So it started with, there was like a new page that popped up, or like if you went to the Rockstar Games page, suddenly there's like an entry for Red Dead Redemption where there wasn't before, like the original one. But like the page that it linked to was like RDR1 RSP, I think is what it.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
So and people are like, does that stand for Red Dead Redemption 1 remake single player, remake special edition? Like what does the RSP stand for?
Yeah.
So that's what started kind of the speculation. And recently, I want to say within the past day or two, people have noticed that there's a font that was uploaded to their server.
God, dude, isn't it crazy? People.
The font is like similar to what they've used in previous Red Dead Redemption, like promo stuff. So they're like, is this going to be used on their page for like an announcement? Because why else would they upload a Red Dead Redemption font to their server? So like what I love is like people noticing these really, really, really small fucking things and like source code of web pages that they're drawing this all from. And
there's gotta be people who get paid to do that. Like that's the only explanation, dude.
Oh, dude, the internet's dude.
Oh my God.
Touch grass, please.
No, man, this is what I love. I love watching. I'm never gonna do this shit, so I love watching other people do it.
That's true. That's a good point. I also just learned, by the way, that the Rage engine is just Rockstar's advanced game engine.
Yeah.
I did not know that until just now.
Yeah, I didn't know what the A stood for, but I knew it was like Rockstar game engine.
Yeah, advanced is the what? Yeah. So I had no idea.
First game that ran on Rage. Do you know what it is?
Was it Rage?
Nope.
No, what was it?
Rage was
table
made by Bethesda.
What? Was it table? Yeah. It wasn't table tennis.
Yeah, it was Rockstar table tennis. Yes.
Okay.
And then GTA 4.
Gotcha. That's right. Hey, ding ding! I knew one.
There you go.
So, oh man, I keep your ears peeled because I'm really ears peeled. Keep your ears open.
Peel them. You can peel them. Peel your ears, bro.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
Whatever. No pain, no gain. But yeah, I'm definitely, if they release a Red Dead Redemption remake, first off, awesome, because I can, that'll give me it'll give me an excuse to replay Red Dead Redemption 2 to make a video.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to just play them in a one shot.
Man,
that'd be cool.
Oh man, I my hopes are really high just because Red Dead.
Going back to emulation real quick.
Sure.
There is a 360 emulator called Xenia.
Okay.
And it runs on Windows. It requires some beefy specs, but I recently went back and tried to play Red Dead Redemption on emulation in 4K, and that game is still fucking beautiful.
RDR1, yeah.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see how they somehow make that look, even better. I guess we kind of got a hint of it with Red Dead Redemption 2, but
yeah, and that game's gorgeous as well. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh God, and this is all while people are still waiting for that GTA 6 to drop.
Yeah.
Fuck GTA 6, who cares? Just give me more Red Dead.
I agree wholeheartedly. Just real quick before we transition, July's game of the month is Bramble. It's a really nice kind of platforming action. game story. It's way more story focused, but that's our July game of the month. And if you want to win a copy of that game, you can go to bucketbytes.gg/game of the month, or just go to the website and click on the link there. We do give away a copy of the game, and we also play it during the month on stream here on the channel. So feel free to check that out sometime. And also, follow. There's gonna be a YouTube video at some point too. So, Logan, in our list of topics, you've got something that's kind of been haunting me lately, and
Is
clearly
that right?
it's been haunting you. But it's the lack of good television shows, and like you're trying to say, like, what's good.
Right.
What are people watching? And by the way, before we start the conversation, if you're in chat watching live, please feel free to put in some suggestions for shows to watch. So feel free. So, but anyways, take it away.
What's that?
Take it away, buddy.
Oh. So, yeah, as far as shows,
I didn't understand what Josh said at all.
From
What is that?
Oh.
It's on MGM Plus.
There's an MGM Plus.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
And what's it called?
It's called From. FROM.
FROM. Yeah. And
Yes.
who? Why?
It's really good. It's really good.
Okay.
I like
All right.
it a lot.
Like not even sarcastically. Like it's good.
No, it's a really good show.
Oh
So-
shit. Okay.
how long has it been running for?
2 seasons, and
Okay.
I really, really, really enjoy it. It's very similar to Lost. So,
Oh no.
very similar to
Gosh.
Lost. So
What's-
first, they both have 4-letter words as the name that are all caps. Second, the guy who played what was his name? Michael.
Oh, it used to be Epics.
Yes,
that's what
it used to be
MGM Plus-
Epics. Now
okay.
it's MGM Plus. The guy, I think his name was Michael. Who was the guy who was always looking for his son? And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, it was Michael.
What?
Yeah,
Michael.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's the main guy on the show. So he was from Lost. So essentially, the idea is a bunch of people, like, they somehow find their way into this town and then they can't leave. That's the premise of the show. Like, once you reach this town, like you're on a road trip or whatever, and you come across this town and then you can never leave. That's the premise of the show. That's all I can describe it as, and I really enjoy it so far. So that's for TV. That's what I'm going to say. That and Evil. Evil is a really good show too.
Why do I feel like I've heard that?
Evil is on. It's on Peacock now.
Okay.
That deals with like demons and stuff.
Sure.
It's a really like it's comedic but also like super duper serious because it deals with like the devil and demons and shit.
It's not like Lucifer.
No.
Did you,
It's more
Josh?
like
I'm curious.
Supernatural.
Did you watch or like Lucifer at all by chance?
Oh, I loved it.
I
watched the
never
whole thing.
watched. I'm aware of it, but I've never watched it.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
got genuinely sad at the end of the series and how they ended it. I was just like,
Okay.
Netflix did such a good job taking it over because the writing on that last season. I don't think they finished the last season when it was just on regular television, and then Netflix picked it up, and they did a great job fixing the writing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Well, now I feel bad because I totally stomped over Logan. So go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, because you said your show kind of reminded you of Lost. Well, one of the kind of research that I did as far as trying to find shows to watch was there's a show called Yellow Jackets. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Yes, it's a
actually
great
right?
show. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a psychological thriller.
It's actually a really good show.
Explores, like a synopsis being, explores the haunting aftermath of a plane crash. The show follows survivors, a high school soccer team, and their coach as they're stranded in a remote wilderness. The narrative alternates between their experiences in the past, their struggles to society and the present, and then revealing dark secrets, unexpected alliances, and the psychological toll of the ordeal over the years. So that was an interesting one that I was thinking about looking into.
100% recommend that show. My wife recommended it to me actually, and like I wasn't really interested in the beginning, but like I actually kind of fell in love with that show. So it's actually it's pretty good. It's quirky. It's fun. It's It's not bad. The acting's decent.
I'm gonna add it to my list because I have heard really good things about that. I really want to watch it.
Yeah, we were really sad when season 2 ended because it's gonna be so long. Like we learned about it in season 2, so but yeah, Yellow Jackets 100% check out. That's good. Henry in chat says Narcos.
Yeah, but that's going back, right? Like that
goes
done.
back a ways. Yeah,
That series is done now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been done for a while.
Okay, yeah.
Well, if you're just looking for stuff to watch, it's you know
Right.
what. That's just
Right.
like someone told me to watch Breaking Bad like after it was pretty much over, and I had not seen any of it, and it's my favorite TV show of I think all time.
There's pros to finding shows late because then you don't have to sit around for the seasons.
Yeah.
For example, there's another show that if people are interested into is I think we talked about it on the podcast is The Boys. Everyone's been anticipated for season 4, but due to the fact of the writer's strike, they're not projecting any sort of release till 2024 because of the writer's strike. So that's another show where if you get hooked on the first 3 seasons and then you're like, yeah, season 4, and then you're sitting around because you're caught up.
My wife gets mad at me because I can never finish that show. It's the same thing with Game of Thrones. I couldn't finish the Game of Thrones either.
Well, you're not supposed to watch the last season of Game of Thrones, from what I've heard.
I've also heard this.
I've never watched it, but everybody's like, yeah, it's amazing. Just don't watch the final season.
Yeah. I was just talking to an old coworker of mine about it, and I was like, let's not talk about it too much because I'm gonna get upset again.
Yeah, sure.
It went downhill quick on the last season. But anyways, just some other shows that I jotted down that
I got a good one for you.
Yeah.
Can I give you a recommendation?
Yeah, go ahead.
This isn't a recommendation, but there's a new show on Peacock called Twisted Metal.
Is it out? Is it out?
It's out, and I've watched the whole first season except for the last episode.
That's one of the.
Don't talk about it yet. Give me the week. I gotta talk. I gotta watch it.
Can I just tell you, it's addictingly bad.
Hold on.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay.
I heard bad, but hold on. Is it better or worse than you expected after seeing that final trailer? That's all I want to know.
I was hoping the trailer. I was hoping the trailer was a fluke, but it's as bad as the trailer.
Okay. All right.
What's interesting is I saw some clips of that on TikTok. Josh, can I talk about some of the people that are on the show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually
I'm not a spoiler person.
There's Anthony Mackie from the Falcon. He plays one of the characters, and then there's some. I don't know if he's a Samoan wrestler, but
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah. So then Will Arnett's the voiceover for him,
which is the worst part because Post and I were so excited about Samoa Joe being Sweet Tooth, and then we saw the trailer and it was Will Arnett voicing him, and we were like, oh.
It just kind of ruins it because Will Arnett's voice. It's hard to, especially after that detective show that he did on Netflix.
Yeah.
Can I make one point on that? So obviously Samoa Joe, while they were recording the episodes, he was saying the lines himself.
Sure.
You can tell that definitely what he's saying is not what Will Arnett is saying, or at the. Okay, hold on. I've only noticed it like maybe 2 times. And also the CGI is really bad, but I'm just gonna let that go.
I'm like, I don't excited to watch this for like the bad factor, but then I'm half not excited to watch it for the bad factor, you know?
So yeah, I will. All I'm gonna say is, it's not Twisted Metal.
It didn't look like it from that trailer.
It's not. It's not Twisted Metal. I'll just leave it at that.
Poor Jeffy.
Can I say one last thing about that show? Just because
Yes, sure. The floor is yours, sir.
So me and my wife were watching this. My wife and I, excuse me, and
thank you.
We both were like, dude, what the fuck are we watching? But we couldn't stop watching it.
Honestly, it might be a good thing, I guess.
It might be the recipe like Crocs, where it's like it's ugly, but you just feel comfortable in them. It just feels right.
I don't want to wear them, but I gotta.
my closing statement is that the humor was definitely written by a 13-year-old.
Or somebody writing for 13-year-olds, which is even worse.
Wait, Dom was writing?
No, Dom's only 12.
Oh,
Yeah, Dom's 12.
Oh, my bad.
Come on now. Dude, it's one thing, like, it's so telling that you and I were so excited for that show when we first saw that teaser.
You guys are so pumped.
That second trailer came out, and now you were like, I watched Twisted Metal, and I was like, it's out?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even fucking know it was out.
Dude, they didn't want it. Dude, it's not even on the top. It's not like, it wasn't even at the front of Paramount Plus. It was like you had to go to, or Peacock, sorry. You had to go search for it.
And like, what does Peacock have? Like wrestling, and that's it. Like, that's all I know.
Peacock's actually not too bad. They're gonna have the Mario movie here in a couple days.
Well, yeah, but the Mario movie's been out on home video for like.
Yeah,
ever.
I understand that, but if you don't like to spend money, you can. Anyways, Logan. So my recommendation is to watch it, but don't expect to love it.
Gotcha.
Critically.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did watch in the last week or so. I watched the first season of Reacher, which has Alan Richardson from Blue Mountain State, the TV show. If you remember that back in the day, he was Thad Castle.
Okay.
Now, Reacher is the one with Krasinski, John Krasinski.
I think so. Yes. But it was really well done. I felt like he played.
Oh no! Yeah, wait. I'm sorry. That's Jack Ryan.
Oh
Reacher,
yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's Jack
Reacher
Ryan.
is the one with Picard, though. Like, isn't there a character named Picard?
Yes.
You would know this.
Yeah. So yeah. Jack Ryan is with the guy from The Office.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
I
good.
always mix those up because it's Ryan and Reacher, right?
Yeah. They're very similar but different. So they're one's active, one's former military, and with Jack Reacher, it kind of goes into like almost like a solving mystery of a small town that's corrupt, and you kind of follow the characters to try to figure out what's really going on there. So it was really good.
Okay. Can I just throw it back to Twist Metal for like 3 seconds?
No, hold on. Also watch Reacher because there's a character named Picard. And it's not Captain Picard from Star Trek.
Okay, what is so good about Twisted Metal that you have to re-bring it up again?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, Josh, there's 2 reasons you should watch it. Number 1, Sandman from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is in it.
Hayden Christian Church?
Yes, I believe that's his name.
Hayden something Church.
Yeah.
Hayden
I
Thomas
can't remember.
Church?
Yeah, I'd have to Google it.
I think I'm mixing up multiple names.
And number 2 is that there's they have Epic by Faith No More in one of the episodes.
Oh shit! Anything Mike Patton is in, even tangentially, I'll be there.
you gotta wait a while, but anyways, I those were 2 huge key points that I wanted to let Josh know if he didn't know them already.
I love that you're like, oh, it's Faith No More, Josh.
Yeah, I do. Every time I hear anything Faith No More, I'm like, oh, Josh would love this. I'm sorry.
All right, it was worth the circle back then.
Yes, it was.
The other thing I was going to talk about was if you guys watched Witcher season 3, episodes 6, 7, and 8 just dropped on the 27th. So yesterday
There's
dropped.
only 3 episodes.
No. They do them in segments.
Wait.
So they dropped the first few of season.
Yeah, the first 6.
Was it
or
the
5?
first 6?
The first half. I thought it was split in 2 halves.
I'm not sure, but I know episodes 6, 7, and 8 because they dropped the first few in June. I forget what day it was, but the next 3 were dropped yesterday. So if anyone's looking to get back on the Witcher grind,
So I have not watched Witcher. Is this still Cavill?
Yes, right now it is.
Right
now it is.
Yes,
right.
It's funny
Season
because
4's no. Sorry, Logan.
Got it.
Yeah, I watched the first season. I think that was before COVID, and then I can't remember if I watched season 2 or not, but it was right around COVID, and everything obviously stopped. So I pretty much stopped at that similar time because that's the same year that I had my first kid. So as you know, life changes and whatnot, and obviously with COVID, I never circled back. But it's always something in the back of my mind that I want to rewatch. So that's something that might be worth watching.
Please do. The show is actually very enjoyable, except for the last episode of the first part of the 3rd season.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah.
Got it.
It was the anyways.
No, you're good. On a final note of shows, at least for me, that I wanted to bring up, there's a show called The Bear. Have you guys heard of it?
I've heard.
That's another show that I'm also interested into looking further into and watching because it sounds really great. The show kind of just like encapsulates life in the kind of restaurant industry, the tension, the heightenedness, just that kind of lifestyle. And it follows the main character. What was he from again? He was from
or no, not orange.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's the show that was originally in the UK, and then they have an American version, and it's a lot more gritty and dirty. My wife knows. I forget what it's called. Shameless. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
He's in Shameless.
He's from Shameless, and he's got another kind of a smart alecky, witty character. He plays really, really well. Like he went to school, was like a chef in like high end restaurants, but his brother, I think, committed suicide, so he came back. So he's kind of dealing with like losing his brother, but yet helping his family's sandwich restaurant and stuff like that. So you kind of follow along with that whole premise.
I drunkenly watched the first like 5 or 6 episodes of that show, and as someone who's I wasn't personally in the restaurant industry, but I've worked around it and been around it a lot.
Up next to it.
It just felt like real. It just felt real. It was very much. It was down to earth and real, and it was fun. The pacing is insane because you feel like the whole episode is just like, blah, 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 and then it's like, oh, okay, resolution, we're done. So, but it's pretty decent. I enjoyed it. I would have to rewatch them all again to remember everything, but it's from what I remember, it was a good watch. Drunk Papa Post recommends.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. So that was also something that I wrote down that looked really interesting. So yeah.
Please watch it.
Okay. We'll do.
I remember the first 3 episodes for sure.
Okay.
It gets kind of there's some quirky stuff to it, but like what show doesn't have that stuff?
Right.
Yeah, because we're kind of. Did you have any other shows that you want to talk about? Because otherwise,
no.
I wanted to. With Netflix and all these streaming services, I kind of wanted to talk about like comparing Game Pass to Netflix and like what is like something you would have never watched on a streaming service like say Netflix or whatever. Like you would not have bought it or paid for it or watched it on TV, but because you were bored one night, it was on Netflix or wherever, and you watched it and you're like, oh dude, this is a fucking hidden gem. Like what is that one show for you that was like that? I'm curious.
I got a hand. It's more of a genre because it's become so popular on the streaming platforms, but I would have to say any of those crafting competition type shows.
Like the glass one, the cake.
The glass one, cake, dessert.
The sword one.
The British cook-off or whatever that one's called. I forget what it's called. It's really well known in the UK. And then even they kind of segue into like Hack My Home, where it's kind of like this competition of trying to help people out, revamping their houses. So it kind of trails off, but any of those easy 15 to 20 minute shows that are competition based are easy go-tos for me.
Sure.
For me, it was a Australian, I don't know if I want to call it a sci-fi, but it's like a thriller show called Glitch. It was on Netflix randomly, and then Netflix picked it up for more seasons. But it was really no, it was great. It was actually really good. So that's another one. It's very similar to From. So you'll get my the kind of TV shows I like. But it's so there's a town where all of a sudden dead people start coming back to life, but they can't leave the town. Like they can't leave the like border of the town.
Is there another show like this? Because my dad was explaining a show that sounds eerily similar to this.
I don't know.
Anyways.
This was the only one I've seen like it.
Okay.
But
could be
Aziza, my fiance, and I really enjoyed. Although season 1 and 2 were really good, but I fell asleep during every episode of season 3. So
Sure.
So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I would have never watched Breaking Bad if it wasn't for Netflix. So thank God for Netflix at the time for showing me my favorite show of all time.
I want to get into that. Did you also watch Better Call Saul?
I've watched about half of Better Call Saul.
Finish Better Call Saul, because
I've heard it gets fucking amazing.
The last 3 episodes of Better Call Saul are better than the entirety of Breaking Bad. And that's saying a lot.
Kidding.
Dude, wow. I
love Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I really wish Better Call Saul wasn't so slow to start, but I understand why it was. So it's like,
see, I disagree. I think that first season was really, really, really good.
It was really well written.
And then it slows down after that.
Oh, maybe it's season 2 I'm thinking of. Maybe that's what I'm thinking
season
of.
2 is a little slow.
Is season 2 when Chuck is in when he takes him to court, when he takes Chuck to court and everything. Is that season 2?
That's like the end of season 1.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Fuck, I don't remember. I got to rewatch it again.
But yeah, like I'm not even joking. The last 3 episodes of Better Call Saul are the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Just because you love Vince Gilligan's stuff.
Well, Vince Gilligan's, it helps, but it's legitimately just so well written, so well acted.
Can I ask what you thought of El Camino?
El Camino is also amazing, but El Camino is not amazing as a standalone film. El Camino is a great epilogue to Breaking Bad.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I agreed, because I was sitting there watching this. I loved every minute of it. I'm like, you know what? If I knew nothing, I would fucking hate this.
You can't just watch El Camino. It doesn't. It wouldn't work.
No,
but it's
never.
It is amazing as an epilogue to Breaking Bad.
It's a shame that whole universe is gone or done,
dude. But I'm telling you, you will not think that when you watch.
All right.
Watch the rest of Better Call Saul.
Don't spoil. I don't know the spoilers at all. So
no, and I'm not going to spoil. I'm just, in my opinion, like watching the end of Better Call Saul, I was like, I don't want there to be any more. You know what I mean? Like, because you can't top that. Like, it's
okay, perfect,
it's perfect, like bow on that.
Okay, all right. I just it's hard because when I watch stuff, it's with my wife, and my wife couldn't get into it like she did in Breaking Bad. So like it's kind of hard that way. So. It'll be
that's what I love about it. It's a very different show with a very different tone and pacing.
Yes.
But yeah, that I'm not even joking. I wish I could rewatch those it's literally the last 3 episodes, and you'll know.
Wow.
And I wish I could rewatch it for the first time every weekend because it's so good.
That's all right. I will let you know, and I will report back.
Thank you.
Probably by the end of August is when I will probably have watched that then. So
I definitely hope so, and I hope you like it as much as I did. Like I hope I'm not.
I'm sure I will, because if what I've heard that things just go well. I didn't even get to the part where fucking Gus comes back. Like I didn't even get to that.
Yeah, that's pretty early.
I didn't even get to that part yet.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either.
So I'm looking forward to getting at least to that part, because like Giancarlo is great, and or Giancarlo, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, I always say Giancarlo, but I don't know.
So all right, with that, guys, do you have anything? Otherwise, I'm gonna close it out here with a giveaway code, and we can call it a night.
No,
give that code,
solid.
Brother.
Give it.
Yep.
All right, so if you guys didn't know, Bucket Bytes is doing a Dark Fusion's system PC giveaway. It's a nice little system that can run Cyberpunk at full settings. I'm always going to leave that part of the segment in from now on, just because of a previous episode. So I'm really excited. Yeah, so it's actually a free PC that we're giving away, and you can enter it by going to bucketbytes.gg/summer-giveaway, or just go to bucketbytes.gg. You'll see the summer giveaway thing there. So one of the ways to enter. You get a bunch of bonus entries by entering in a live code, which you can get from here, or an audio code, listening to it on Spotify later, or on YouTube. So you can actually kind of triple up and get a shit ton of entries, way more than anybody who actually, than if they don't support the show, actually. So today's code is going to be P7Z3E6W9. So that is our code today. We appreciate all of you coming to hang out with us live here on Bucket Bytes. That's really all I got, man. This was good. This is a nice little quick bite-sized episode, so to speak. Looking forward to being, actually, we're off next week.
Yes.
There is no show next week, but we will be back the following week. So look forward to that. And we'll catch you on the flip-flop. I appreciate you guys listening and hanging out and supporting us. We'll see you later. I am Ryan Papa Post. That's Josh. And
Bye,
that's
Adeline.
Logan over there. Wait, who?
My niece is watching. Bye, Adeline.
That's awesome. Oh, man. Awesome. All right, guys. Appreciate it. See you next time. Goodbye.